Hello, comics and pop culture people. It's your friend Brian, aka Bigby McFly, and I'm hanging out with two of my good friends. I'd like to bring them to the stage right now so you can get myself off a solo layout.
Hey.
And there they are.
Howdy.
Mr. Allen, the comic collector geek, and
Mhm.
Mr. Steven, aka Collecto6, and also known as Steppo. And
Mhm.
how you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Good.
Good to see
So
you
yeah.
guys. Good to see you again, Stephen.
What
For
fun.
those of you who don't know, Stephen and I got to hang out together yesterday. I had been doing some artwork for him and was finally able to deliver that to him after the snow and ice
Beautiful
had
stuff.
kind of melted.
So did
It was
Stephen, did
all
you bring
melted
it to
around me, and I got down to Steppo's house and like I get a text as I'm on my way there. He's like, "Hey, there's ice and stuff in my driveway, so try to stay to this one side." And then I get there and I'm like, what? He's like, he comes out, he's like, hang
Oh
on.
no.
It brings me a shovel and we're chiseling out an ice path for me.
Literally had
Yeah,
to chisel the ice off in order to get through.
Oh wow.
because we had,
So
I had short boxes of stuff to bring in to show to him and stuff. So I'm like, ah.
That's a good
so
way to
maybe
go.
this was a
Ah!
plot. Maybe this is a plot, like, kill him and then just
Yeah, I
take the
slip
comics.
and fall, hit my head,
This,
forget what books I had, right? At least maybe not kill
Yeah.
me, but
Bri-
amnesia, right?
Yeah.
Brian, this is why you don't want to go to Canada.
This, see, there's a nefarious plot afoot. Hello,
Mm.
side quest. How you doing?
Fiendish
Tina,
Steve.
good to see you. How are you?
So
So
yeah,
yeah,
so
so it was an awesome time. We hung out, we talked books, we went out to dinner. I got to meet Stephen's wonderful wife, and
mhm.
just
Yeah, I'm sort of
had an
jealous. I
amazing
kind of
time.
wanted to meet you guys in person too.
Well, next time just fly down.
Well,
Yeah.
the
No.
door is obviously very open for you, and we look
And all the
forward to
comics
at
too.
such time as we see you.
Cool, cool. I will definitely come down there at some point in my life. I'm not sure when. And you guys are both invited to the capital of Canada, the hot spot of Canada, the coolest place to be.
So we got
You can
Steve
come here,
Driscoll and Sleepy Reader. Hello,
Ottawa.
guys.
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Is
So
that
I
name?
want to tell you guys how cool Steven is because I get there and we're talking and he's showing me a few books and everything. And out of the blue, he says, "Hey, come over here. I want to show you something." And I'm gonna show the book, and then you can tell people the story behind the book. Okay?
Sure.
All right. So I'm gonna make myself big real quick.
Yeah.
So Steven goes, come over here in this other room. I want to show you something. And he pulls out this box, and it has several books. And it has this
Oh
book in
wow.
it, which is a cover by Alex Schomburg. And this cover was done after folks thought Schomburg was dead, Steppo.
Yeah, the book Chroma was written by guys who were always wondering what had happened to Alex Schomburg. And then what
Mhm.
happened was then the Herald sisters of Old Weird Heralds had
Which
this
was a
all
store.
American
That was a
comic
store
book
here in
event.
town.
They had a store, the collective comic store, and what have you, collectible stuff. And they knew where Alex was. He was down in Newburgh, Oregon. And they said, "Would you like to come up and be involved?" A nice Steranko back cover.
Oh
Um,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Basically, they knew a whole bunch of people. Jack Kirby, all that. They got a Kirby piece in there. I mean, I don't know if you've cracked that open. Those things are.
Yeah, I've looked through it very
Oh
carefully with kid gloves, but
yeah, and
it's beautiful. What year is this from?
1978,
1978.
78,
I was a, I
77.
was a whole 8 years old when this came out.
Uh, and what happened was they contracted with Alex, and they said, "We would like to have you produce artwork for the front cover of our program." And Alex said, "Sure." So he took every trope that he had uh, and put it on that cover.
Yeah,
And it's Captain America by any other name. Bucky is down in the lower right, but it's either Y or T Man. but it's Captain America by any other name, and he has the Swami guy with the hypodermic needle. He's got another cornball up at the top with a gun. He's got the screamer guy down at the bottom. They got the shadow looking guy with a gun in his hands, and the cops and the police cars. It's just, and the frails around having trouble. I mean, he really did a beautiful job on that.
It is a beautiful piece. So Stephen invites me to the back room and shows me, says, so you were able to get the remnants after they had done the show of the flyers that were left over, right?
That is correct. They were never issued.
So
I got all
never
this
issued, mint condition, a Mylar, and he says, I want you to have this.
Wow.
And I was just totally blown away and overcome with emotion, and thought it was just super cool. And he says, well, that's not all. And I'm like, what do you mean that's not all? And I got to be very careful with this, but he says, so in addition to commissioning him to do that front cover, they commissioned a silkscreen print of the art in black and white.
Oh, wow.
And it is signed by Mr. Schomburg and numbered. And he says, I want you to have this as well. And at that point, I started crying.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, it is super cool. And Stephen actually has the onion skin to this, where Schomburg was doing the proposed colors for it as well, right?
Yes, I did. I do.
Yes, beautiful piece. So I was just like blown away. And I'm going to be doing a video showing, Stephen showed me around all of his house and all the history that he tracks for his family. And you have a painting that was the last known work by Schomburg before he passed away. So I took a picture of that. I'm going to show that off. A lot of really cool stuff. And he also was kind enough to give me a book that he wrote about his family and his grandfather, who was an ambulance driver.
Ambulance driver. He was at Harvard University. They enlisted, and the first thing that they did that the French asked for was for help with their wounded soldiers, of which there were many, and it freed up all the rest of the poilus to go up in the front. And so Grandpa wanted to be where the action was, and the ambulance drivers were right up at the front. The difference between the American ambulance drivers and the French was the French were much further back at the field hospitals, and when they would have a wounded, they would radio down, and then they would have to drive all the way up to the trenches where they were wounded. But the Americans said, this is ridiculous. These guys are going to die before they can get treatment. So what the Americans did was they set up all of their ambulances in the second line of trenches. So the first line of trenches, when they were wounded or coming back from no man's land, triage would be done to them right there in the front trenches, and then they would bring them to the second trenches where the ambulances were, and then the ambulances would then drive down the hill to the field hospitals to save them. My grandfather told me, he said, Steve, the Germans were outstanding with their artillery, and the trick of this was that you had to drive fast enough to avoid being zeroed by the artillery and killed. But if you go too fast on the bumpy roads and stuff, you kill everybody in the back. And so it was a balancing act.
Fine line.
He said, I knew that the slower I could go would be better for all the poor, they called them blessés, that were in the back, blessés, wounded men. And he said that it was absolutely incredibly nerve-wracking. The other thing about their posts, the Model T that he was supposed to have was replaced by a French Fiat that a lot of these guys had never driven a car before. And so when they were training at Camp Crane in back east in Pennsylvania, in the Lehigh Valley, they ended up learning to drive the Model T, which the French had required us to bring. So all of these boxed up Model Ts were sent over to Europe, to Saint Nazaire, that we had to rebuild for them to come. And then it ended up that Grandpa assembled the Model T right there. They assembled them right there on the dock. They drove them to the thing, and then when it came time to go to the front, the French took all of those away from them after their training. Grandpa already knew how to drive, and saddled them with cars they'd never driven before. And then
Oh my goodness.
they sent them up to the front. If
So
you read
so
my
that's all
caption,
detailed in this book?
I'm sorry,
That's all detailed in the book?
extensively.
Yeah.
And
So
this, and can people pick this up
more.
like on Amazon or?
Well, you could get it on Amazon, but the ones that are up there now they're used. I haven't really pursued doing this. All I seem to be getting, Alan and Brian, I get all these calls from people that say they want to buy my book because I'm so wonderful.
Yeah, I get
And
the same.
you know, and I said, well, I said, and we will market it, and you will share in the profits. And I said, fair enough. What will it cost me for you to buy my book? Well,
Mhm.
Mr. Gander, it won't cost you anything. However, there will be ... And I said, thanks a lot. So I've had at least
Yeah.
a half a dozen calls on that.
Thanks, but
Yeah.
no thanks. I know Travis's dad, his father-in-law has written a book, and he got scammed once on that where they were trying to make him pay to promote his book.
Oh,
Yeah, I get
really?
the same thing
Yeah,
too.
so
You
but
know, there
I
must be
usually get
money in
one or
there
two calls
somewhere
a
for me.
day, every day about my books. I have like 7 books that I've written.
you have 7 books?
Yeah, and I
I had
get
no
calls
idea. Alan is
every
a
day.
published author with 7 books.
Yeah, but most of them are ebooks. I have 2 published books and then a whole bunch of ebooks.
Awesome. So
And
the
painful,
gist of things was
painful.
Stephen and I got together to just have a good time and hang out, and I had some books that he was possibly interested in, and so we looked at some amazing grails that he had to show, and I was put to shame with my collection.
No,
I've
no,
seen the
nice
ones you
stuff.
got that he got, and they're pretty amazing. You
Yeah,
get
so
some
I
pretty
was
awesome
wondering, would
stuff.
you like to show the books that you picked up, Stephen? Because you picked up a lot, and I picked up only one. So,
Yes,
do you
you
have
did.
those? Do you have those
Yes.
handy?
Why, as a matter of fact, so I do.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and make you big and let you show off some books
All
that you
right.
got to pick up.
I'd like to start. Before I do that, because of all the ice, we were slammed with ice. The mail service couldn't come. Finally, the mail service started yesterday, and they actually had 2. One brought packages, the other brought the regular mail, and it really just flattened our area. It was truly terrible. Now it's finally
It's
melting off, and
it was still sketchy getting to your house. I was the main roads, the highways, and everything were okay. And then when I finally got to the side streets,
side
I have
streets
a
are
little front
terrible.
wheel drive car, and it was spinning out and everything. I'm like,
Oh
whoa,
no.
this isn't good.
I know, and I apologize for that.
Oh,
We're
it's
high
not
in
your fault.
yes, it is. Alan said it was. Anyway, but so they finally got some books that had come in, and then I'll show the books that I just got in, and then I'll show the books I got from you. One of the books that we
Awesome.
were talking about was Atomic War. #1 was one of the books you showed, and I passed on it. But this was the one that I got, which is World War III #1.
Right, that's a beautiful cover.
Which is whereas your book is New York City is destroyed, but in this the Capitol is destroyed, and
Right.
it's fiery, dead bodies left and right, vaporized people. It's quite a book, and this one I think was a My Comic Shop thing. This was not the most inexpensive book I ever bought, I will tell you. The next one was by your favorite artist, Alan. His name is Frank Frollo.
Yeah. But this is an awesome book.
And
Space
Frank
Adventures. There we go.
Frank Frollo signed it there, and look at that frail.
And how cold.
and the space. It's quite cold in space, and she's not wearing a suit, and she's not wearing a helmet or anything, and he's got all this protective garb on, and she's in her red dress and bare-legged, which is the way that it works in science fiction. But she is about this monster is about to sink his claws into her right thigh. But isn't that a wild cover? I had never
a crazy
seen this.
cover.
I never, and I've been saying to Alan, I said to you that this has been the most target-rich environment that I can remember in decades. Truly, it's just and it keeps coming, and my wallet's screaming like Colossus Comics had that one short where he had his wallet smoking a cigar, and he says,
Oh,
"Well,
it's yelling
he's
at him.
talking to his wallet. He says, "Well, I actually bought some books." He says, "Oh, really? Well, what'd you get?" "Well, I got some comic books." "Oh, really? How much did it cost?" And he whispers in the wallet. The wallet freaks out, starts screaming at him and stuff. I laughed so hard. I said, "That's my wallet." And
I
the
think
the
all of us have
last,
been suffering that lately.
and this one just arrived, and it's a book that I have looked for the longest time. And the fellow that I got this from actually was the one who slabbed it. It's got an absolute sparkling, fresh, brand new configuration slab. And these books are slightly oversized. It had to go into. I'm not thrilled that it goes in a magazine, but a holder. But I don't mind. It's beautiful book. The colors, and he did not clean or press it. So he told me that. He says, so sometime if you want to take it and have it cleaned and pressed, it might come out better. Maybe it'll maybe get a 6 or a 6.5. But I'm not going to touch it because it's for a 5.5. This is a really, I mean, and it's interesting that the octopus was the imagery that they use in the war to describe how the Japanese engulfed and devoured things like octopus do, octopi, and they had these animations where they did that. But anyway, but there is the that was the one that, and that you always watch when they're supposed to arrive, and then they don't arrive because of the ice, and they said it should have been delivered. It's there, it's there, it's there. I said it's not here. So I have 3 other books. Then I'm going to show yours. This one is Joe Black Box Silver and Bronze showed this, and had a big story about how they basically were folding up and they couldn't afford to do this or that. And he does the whole story on his channel. It's really a great story. And so I said, well, and I suffer. You guys might not have noticed this about me, but I suffer from FOMO. I won't say it's terminal FOMO, but it's getting close to terminal FOMO.
Take some
Fight the
antibiotics.
FOMO.
Fight the FOMO.
So he has a great story on that. And then this one is a Shakiri, is the artist, and this is the Black Canary. She's very healthy,
beautiful,
very healthy girl. I don't buy a lot of new books, but some of the very good girl stuff, which is, it seems like the variant covers are where the money is made, and then all the rest of the stuff is for the multiples. Then are this sort of sloughed off to whoever gets them and something. It's a screwy thing for the new. You'd think that and that's why they have so many variant covers, because they're the ones that sell. And then from David DTA Collectibles, Dave Alexander, this one arrived. It was another one of the Bill Ward #1 covers that I purchased.
Very cool.
So Brian
Scandalous.
comes down. Brian comes down. Oh, scandalous! Brian comes down, and he has his books. And after we've done the show and tell here in the house, what have you, and I've shown him various runs and things that I had. It was a lot of fun to just go through. I will tell you, it was just like when I was a kid. When you go to a friend's house and you're looking you bring your books or your best books. He has his books. You show him yours. He shows you his. And then you share and you read books together and you look at his stuff, and then he comes to your house and you show him your stuff and everything. And it was such fun to do that kind of stuff, to see what other guys had and enjoy and all that stuff. I never really felt terribly jealous, and there were guys that had nicer stuff than me. I just enjoyed the interaction, and it was fun to be with.
I was just joshing you with saying that I felt. Well, you do. Your collection is amazing, but I had a blast. It was like you said. It felt like little kids, like looking up. I was learning stuff from you about how you grade, and it was really, really fun.
And then what we did? Then I said, well, what kind of a price do you let me look what you have? Okay. And he goes, I don't have any prices though. And I said, no prices. says, no, I thought we could figure out what they were. And I went, okay. And so what we did was we basically cracked each book, judged it, graded it, had a conversation agreed upon, and then I went on Go Collect and found the fair market value or the most recent sale. We went through all of those things and then came up with a price, and then it developed, and I won't steal your thunder, I'll let you tell it then, that I had a copy of a book that I had that he wanted.
Cool. Well, I'll show that at the end. You go ahead and show what you
I'm not
picked
going to
up,
say
and
nothing,
then
but
because that was at the end. Well, so he had showed me a lot of his, not all of his, a lot of his collection, and I was kind of taking mental note, like, oh, he has a double of this, okay, he has a double of that, and so I was thinking like, okay, well, I'd be interested in that. I'd be interested in that. And there was a Grail that was on my list of like top probably 10 or 12 books that I wanted to get this year, and I was able to acquire it. So, but we'll show that at the end there, or closer to the end.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the first one I'm going to show is Kent Blake of the Secret Service.
That's an Atlas, right? Atlas book.
This is an Atlas book, and this is Atlas number. This is Secret Service number V1, and this is number 11 from 1953. And it must have been early because the Korean War was still going on. And here these Reds are taking it. Okay, commies, this is it. End of the line. Actual war tales of fighting men behind enemy lines, and it has the code that never went anywhere. The star, the ACMP, because Bill Gaines, when they got together and they said we have to do something after the disastrous hearing he had. Well, the severed head, it's got black. It's not red. It could have been worse.
Yeah, it's not the.
And there,
Right. It could have been a lot worse.
What's the problem? What's the problem? You decapitated her. Well, I don't see what the problem is. Well, anyway, all the stuff that they were upset about, and then they said, okay, we got to stop this. And Gaines says, hey, that's all my, forget you. And he walks out. So the whole thing kind of folded up on itself. And then, of course, the Comics Code Authority came in. That's the first one.
I think you got several books that actually had that code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our Army at War is my one of my favorite DC titles. GI Combat is my favorite with the haunted tank. But Our Army at War has the Hammer of Hell. It has the enemy ace and the unknown soldier and a lot of good stuff. But early on, though, I mean, when I was a little kid, it was Sergeant Rock. And this is the roster cover, which is not one that you generally will see. And I had heard of this one, but I had never seen one. And Brian had this one. So it went into and it's got the great Kubert artwork on the cover, and especially Sergeant Rock.
The way he draws Rock's face is so good. Yeah.
This Sergeant Rock image is absolutely, and it's a big box 10 center. Then they went to that says still 10 cents, and then it went 12 cents, which was in 1961. But anyway, here it is. So there's that one.
And that one's a key just because that was the first time they ever showed the whole team on the cover.
They ever had the entire Easy Company, his group, but they didn't have Little Sure Shot, which was the Indian. He must have come later on. He was their sniper.
Oh, yeah.
And then Famous Funnies has always been, you think about the Frazetta covers, and there's some really great first appearances, cartoony character things in Famous Funnies, but they did stuff that was different. And this one is from 1953. This is number 205, and this is also 53. It is a Korean War cover, and it is probably one of the most egregious
very stereotyped there
picture. And they basically they're taking them on, and they made them look just as heinous as they possibly could. But there's that one. And then we're still in the war in Korea.
You got a
that
theme going. You have a theme going on.
well, I really ended up. I mean, the stuff, the books, you had a lot more stuff, but you know, I just these move me, and they're unusual. Then you saw the United States Marines there. Here is another one, but it's a different company. This is an ME, United States Marines, and this is number 8 from 1952, and he is shooting right through him.
He's just cutting that guy in half.
He
Machine
complained
gun
about his
fire.
stomach ache later.
And the uniforms they're wearing are these quilted uniforms, which they generally wore these in the winter. You've seen pictures of them, and yet the GI is basically bare chested, like he's in the Pacific somewhere. But the color scheme on the back, and you have a nice date stamp on it, March 3rd. But just a really great war cover. We're still at war.
There are some superhero books in here, guys.
This is Fighting Man number V1, number 7 from early 1953, and the color strike on this cover is an inch thick. It is just
Oh,
absolutely
that was so glossy. We were blown away at how.
blown away by how
Really
glossy
nice.
this is. But you will notice that the GI is taking his BAR-ish gun and
It's
shooting
right
this
in the
guy
guy's mouth.
right in his mouth.
It's so
Like,
crazy.
oh my god!
Crazy cover.
So
Yeah,
and
it
this
was
guy,
bad.
and if you look behind, the guy behind him just got shot in the chest.
Wow.
Yeah, he's clutching it. Yeah, he's going down, dropping his rifle.
And there's another dead GI there, and explosions and what have you. I mean, I had never seen this book before, and it is wild. The Fighting Man.
Yeah,
We're still at
those are
war.
those are a lot of pickups from the honey hole that I go to, and it was a lot of like conditional. I was like, this is just in fairly high grade for a
Yes.
decent price. So
Yes, nice grades. I mean, especially for war books. We're still at
Mhm.
war. Here is Spy Cases, Battlefield Adventures of Actual Spies.
I love that cover. That's
And
so cool.
you've got these Koreans. This is a Joe Manley cover. Joe Manley. And look at these guys are coming up from underneath. They're about to come up. And the one GI is already dead. And all of these guys are going to overwhelm these guys on top. They're about to die. It's going to be over for them. The jets are coming through.
Even if they manage to do the counteroffensive, they've got a tunnel of guys coming underneath.
These guys are going to kill a bunch of them, but they're going to be dead.
Yeah. Is that a timely book, or is that a Atlas?
This is Atlas.
Okay.
Wow.
And this does not have the and it has a date mark of February the 1st. Atlas 10 center. Gosh, what a great Spies and War. All right, no more war.
War is over.
The war is
over. Now we go to a book that is a beautiful golden age book, Liberty Comics, number 10.
That's a really great.
That was another one where we looked at it. We were like, "Oh my gosh, the color strike on this thing is the gloss and
the blue. Yeah. The blue of the background is sort of mute. It is not horribly glossy, but the trade dress is absolutely like it's acrylic paint. It's just so thick.
Yeah, it just pop when you see that thing out of the bag. It just pops off of that blue. It's like a matte blue, and then just this gloss popping off. Yeah,
it's hard to see just how glossy, but it's just the pages are white, and inside it's MLJ. It's the Hangman. It's the Shield, etc. I didn't know that MLJ did this, but Alan, did you say this is a reprint book?
No, it's not a reprint. I have one of the issues from the Liberty series as well.
So it's an MLJ book, right?
Yeah, it's just an MLJ book.
Right. Can you tell me who the hero is on the cover?
Me? No, I have no idea.
Oh.
Is that the Hangman on the cover?
No,
No, the Hangman is
Hangman looks very
green.
different.
Is green. I don't know who this hero is. Maybe the chat knows, or Brian, maybe you could just
I
check
don't. Yeah, I don't remember. Let me see if I can do some research while you're talking.
while I'm okay.
Liberty
Yeah, I'm not
Comics
sure
number
who.
10.
I'm not sure who the
Lib-
cover, the
Liberty
character is
10.
on the cover.
And if you know who the cover, if you can see who the cover artist in that is too, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a very nice collection of Wonder Woman, and I think that Wonder Woman, it was not a character that I was really chasing after, but I had the opportunity to get Wonder Woman, and when I got them, they're all raw. I started to read them very carefully, but reading them, and all of a sudden the light went on, and I realized just what an amazing fantasy type title this was. Such a departure from Superman, Batman, Robin, Flash, Hawkman, all these. She lives in a world of mythology and fantasy and the different gods and all this other stuff, and how she got to be all her powers, that they bestowed her with these powers and what have you. And she started out as a hunk of clay that Zeus felt sorry for her. Later, her retcon was that Zeus came down and knocked up Hippolyta, and then she had Wonder Woman. But in the beginning, she was made out of clay, and but nevertheless, too much information. These Wonder Woman was a creation of All American Comics. And All American was the sister company of these two guys that were basically had the rights to various characters, and DC was the company. But it was actually then when DC purchased All American Comics, then it turned into National Comics. But National Comics was still DC Comics. It all went under the banner, and
Right.
All American Comics used DC as their logo right until near the end, and then All American, to distinguish itself prior to being absorbed, had their own logo designed, and they put it on these books, and for the last bunch of the books that they had, to distinguish themselves before they were basically absorbed. And this sensation shows that the All American logo, AA Publications.
Where's the logo?
I beg your pardon?
Where's the logo?
Oh,
right up there.
Right by her head.
Yeah.
Right by her head. And they actually put the price with the page count and etc. on the other side to kind of coordinate between red with the blueprint in the outer circle.
That was one of the books that I was like, oh, hurts.
That's a great book. It's a great book.
And the H.G. Peter has a very distinctive style. The horses are kind of lumpy.
I love his art style. It just the way that horse looks is amazing.
Yeah, and of course you look at the saddle and the saddle blanket, and the girls, who are obviously the banditos, were going to cause a problem, and they're very ornate. How they have a palm tree, presumably in the Pampas or wherever they are, Mexico. Maybe Mexico has palm trees, but it's sort of an interesting sort of a thing. And this one is from 1945. So, and it would be just before the end of the war.
And it was number 45 from 45. So I looked up that Liberty Comics. That is the Hangman in a different costume. Yeah, all of the stories in that book are the Hangman. There are all three Hangman stories in one book.
Okay,
from 1946. Yeah,
46.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I wonder why they changed his costume.
I don't know, but yeah, it says the Hangman stars in 3 stories. Hangman number they are compiled. It is a compilation from Hangman number 8, The Gallows and the Ghoul, The Case of the Python's Curse, and Pirates from the Past.
Now that means that this is a reprint, correct?
It says that it has 3 reprint stories, and then it has 2 Boy Buddies backup stories, which might be original stories.
Okay, and did you have the artist of the cover?
Let me take I'm looking right here. I found it on my comic shop. It does not tell me who the artist is though.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. It's good. I love the colorist that did this, the blue with the moon running out of the moon and everything like that. Very
So we kind
Batman-like.
of mentioned that we thought that was similar to the Batman, the cover with the castle.
1931.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you've got the
where the
castle in the
rising up.
background. He's chasing down the path with the guy carrying the girl. Yep.
Yeah.
And then the last one I got is a Schomburg cover, and it is the Green Hornet. And Alex did work for various companies, and here he's doing one for MLJ or Archie, but MLJ. And this one, I don't remember what year it's from, but it's still during the war, because you've got these Japanese guys,
The
uh,
saboteurs. Yep.
saboteur. Well, and they also have this. They've got this big parade going on, airplanes and flags and everything, buy war bonds, etc. Kato is on the other roof of the building, firing at these guys, shooting at them, and the building he's in is on fire. And
And they
then
got the
we got
Dane.
a skyscraper set up over here in the back with a guy with a Thompson with a 100-round drum. And then the Green Hornet, who has popped this Japanese guy that has the little red axe, ready to cut the gal loose, the disheveled frail who has been abused and then has been lashed to a blockbuster bomb between her legs to be dropped on the big parade. And here's the
So much going on that cover. That's what I loved about that book. It
Mm.
was just
Yeah, it's
amazing. And
good.
that's the Schomburg, right?
That's a Schomburg. And then there's the guy at the bottom that no one will ever recognize, that he's got a gigantic rising sun flag on his shirt.
On its tie, right? It's his tie.
Jap, yeah, it's his tie. Jap's treacherous plot.
That's a little. That would be a little risque during that time period to be wearing that tie, don't you think?
Right?
A little bit
Really.
obvious.
There's a Fighting Yank. I think it's Fighting Yank number 4. I can't remember, 14, whatever, his first, Schomburg's first Fighting Yank. And there's a guy that they have there's a speedboat, and they've got some frail in there that's in trouble, and there's they were going to have a bomb in this boat, and there's this cruiser coming towards them, like through a canal or something. And there's a Nazi that has like a green suit with a yellow tie with red swastikas on it. No one would ever notice that,
Right? Not
I
at all.
wonder
Not at
who
all.
they are. Who are these guys? I think they're Nazis.
Right. That's
So,
yeah. So that book, yeah, that was a big one too. That was quite expensive as far as value goes. So
now those are the books that I traded with Brian, and like I said, we graded them. We got all the prices on them and everything else to make sure that what it was. And then came Brian.
and then came me, and then so he says, "Now what books did you see that you thought looked interesting?" And I'm like, "Well, I think you had 2 of these," and or actually, I said he didn't actually realize he had 2 of them. I said I was interested in, and I will show it now. I said I was interested in the first appearance of the Wasp,
That's
and
a
so he
beautiful
pulled it
cover.
out, and we came to an agreement that would be a fair trade for those books.
You might
Very
slide
high
it out of
grade.
the larger Mylar, because you've got a Mylar on the inside. Oh no, I have that. I have that flat. I mean, I have that bare against the board. Do I not?
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's
Okay,
visible, really
okay.
visible. So we came to an agreement, and then he said, "Why did you pick that book?" I said, "Oh, well, you had doubles." He said, "I did." And then we looked, and he's like, "Well, so I did." And he had, so this one's probably what we say, was a 7 to a 7.5, Stephen?
Something like
We
that. Yeah.
figured. Yeah. And then he has another copy that's probably a 9. And then he's like, "Oh, and I have a slab of that too. That's a 9. What was it? Your slab, a 9.4 or 9.6?"
9.4.
Wow.
Well, that was
So
my number one. That was my number one copy of the book for the longest time. It was very hard to find to find that one. And then I ran into another one a little bit nicer. I had no intention of selling that. And then much later, my friend offered me the 9.4, and I choked up for that one too. Of course, he brings that up and he says, "God, I sold that to you so cheap back then." I said, "But that was what the market was then." The appreciation for that book has been truly spectacular. I like the fact that the Ant-Man it's the old style where he has the test tubes full of his juice to basically get small and get large. Very
Yeah,
very
on
Alice
his
in
belt there.
Wonderland,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
Alice in
Mhm.
Wonderlandy, and so does the Wasp. She has the little ones too, and of course later on they didn't. But it was that he basically came up with a thing so that she could fly, Henry Pym,
Mhm.
and so anyway, it's a great story.
A beautiful book. I think what you had the 9.0 that you showed me, you're like there was still a price tag on the back. You're like, I think I did pretty good on this book. And the 9.0 you had bought for $800 back in the day.
And
Oh
from
wow.
a person who charged full boat, that was a Harley E purchase.
Oh wow. Yeah,
So
Harley E is always expensive, actually.
so having
There was a time that he wasn't, though.
Hmm.
so
Not
having
too it wasn't too terrible.
a little money in my pocket from delivering the artwork to Stephen, he inspired me today to go to my Golden Age honey hole, and I was able to go there and do some taking some video of uh, all of the different books he has. So I'm going to do a video for you guys so you can see all that. But while I was flipping through, there was one book. I think K-pop in the house there.
Hi, K-pop.
Hey, K-pop.
Steve Driscoll.
Pim particles.
Yep,
Eh.
Pim Particles.
And where'd you get that? Said fire on the Wasp book there. So thank you so much. But as I'm flipping through, there was one book that just stood out. It was so pristine. It was Batman
Oh
108.
wow.
Nice. I love
And
Very
the
nice.
cover.
this book is like a 9294. It is
That is
flat as
gorgeous.
flat can be. There's no spine ticks. Corners are square. And I was like, just condition wise, I was blown away. I'm looking at it. I'm just like, I mean, usually I kind of take into account the balance of like, okay, what character is this? Is it,
Hmm.
all of that stuff. But oh
What
my
number is
gosh,
that, Brian?
that's a 108.
And
And
No, it's. I see its code. I'm thinking that's like late 61 or 1962. Did you find out?
it's 1956. It says on it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm totally off base. I'm off
I would have
base.
guessed earlier too. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm completely off base. I'm sorry.
yeah, 1956.
So
And he had 250 on it. And
wow.
I looked it up in my phone really quickly, and I was like, that's way undervalued. And then he's like, "Oh, I give it to you for two."
Oh, good.
I love I love Batman Jones' bicycle. He's got the Bat bicycle. That's the first appearance of the Bat bicycle.
Right?
Maybe.
A
So
bat
wait, why are there
cycle.
two Batmans?
So there's a kid Batman Jones, who's a kid, and it's like, what is he? What he says? Batman, look, Batman Jones is responding to the bat signal too. So there's like this kid that's pretending to be Batman Jones.
You
Oh
will
wow.
notice that not only do you have the bat signal going, but you also have the light throwing his shadow up against the building. And
Right, right.
they did that a lot in this vintage rather than having them have a moon that they are framed with a big moon like Jerry Robinson came up with. He's the one that started that. They'll actually use a lot of shadows in this vintage on covers and on inside, and it's sort of like foreshadowing, like Kaluta did with the shadow, like in the first four or five panels before he makes his appearance. His shadow is showing somewhere, right? They use the shadows very effectively, and that's one of the ones where they did.
Yeah, I thought I was just blown away because like in the grade that it's in, it looks like it books well over $1,000 in that grade,
Wow.
and I
Well
was able to
done.
get it for 200. So
That's
yeah,
Well
amazing.
done.
and then like I said, you guys are going to be blown away when I do that video and you see the stuff that he has. I'm just looking at book after book after book and going, God, I wish I had as much money as because there's just so much
So
stuff. I
does
mean,
he have like pre-code
Archie's
horror
going
or
down
anything?
into the way low numbers of Archies. Just a ton of stuff. There was I'm like, because of watching you guys, I was able to tell. I'm like, oh, that's a Schomburg. That's a Schomburg. No, that's a Schomburg.
Wow.
It's like, okay. So yeah,
And
just
what kind of
crazy stuff.
pricing does he have on the books? Like good some books.
Anywhere from most of his stuff is anywhere from $20 to like 120, 150. That was one of his higher priced books at 250. I think I saw a couple books that had like 300-ish price tags on them, but
So if
they're
I
well
tell you, like,
below
Alan,
market
you tell me a
value.
basic.
Alan, you would not be interested in this.
Yeah,
If I tell
would
you
want
pick
to.
up these books, would you do it for me? Like where I could say, hey, pick
Well,
up.
am I
Like,
getting a finder's fee? I mean,
I'll
if I'm
throw
getting
The
it
you
answer
a
for a
is
Toronto
steal
yes.
number
for
The
you,
one.
answer is yes, you would get a finder's fee. You have to.
so
But don't worry, Alan, you don't need to worry because when Brian gets these, we're going to have another get together
Oh
and
no.
we're going to do some horse trading.
and
And
Alan will
I
fly
don't
in.
want you to fret. I don't want you to fret about it because you can see I'm trying to help Brian, and I'm turning into somewhat of a honey hole also because he's shopping at my store now.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
so
so
we'll be
I find the Golden Age books that Steven needs, and then I trade them to Steven for the
silver,
Marvel keys
gold,
that
or
I need.
silver. And I think that this is a good relationship. Oh, Alan, do you have to go? I'm so sorry. Anyway, Brian.
So that's another piece of the story. In the midst of Steppo and I trading,
I
the
called
phone
it.
rings. The phone rings.
Yeah, I'm sitting here.
Alan's spider sense was going off.
I'm trying to close the deal, and then all of a sudden my phone rings and the caller ID pops Alan Pollitt. I go, my God, how does that man do that? And then he calls me and Alan says, what are you doing? What are you doing? I can feel something's happening in the force. I said,
Don't
nothing,
Steppo, and
trade
then
me good
and
stuff.
Steppo goes, yeah, Brian's right here, and he's like, oh, put him on.
And then I hear him going, well, what? No, he's got a wasp. You have a wasp too, huh? Okay, first one. No. Stevens is. I said, my God, that guy, he's haggling with my guy while I'm trying to go. Holy crow! I said something else, but I won't say
You're
it
just
here.
giving away all my good books. It's so sad.
Your books. You're giving away my books.
I feel like
Can you say something to the effect of how do you get up and down the stairs in that house of yours with
Bigby
balls
is
that
my
big?
shopping cart. Bigby is my shopping cart, and you're taking stuff out of my shopping cart. It's very frustrating.
God, that's funny.
I love it. I love you guys. So,
Great.
Alan, did you have anything, any recent pickups or anything you want to show off?
No, but I actually have been sorting out some boxes here. If you guys
Yeah,
want
you
to
got
see
some
some
stuff. Do
random
you have
stuff,
some books you want to show? I guess
I
those
can
have to be
show.
recent
Yeah,
pickups.
I can show. I can show a bunch of books. Okay.
All right.
So this is me showing a bunch of books.
And Steven, we should have you show your big guy one more time.
No,
Yeah,
it's getting shop worn. It's getting shop
Is
worn.
it getting shop worn? Okay, there's the effect wearing off.
People will say, "Oh God, do we have to look at that again?"
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Oh God, Batman #1 again.
Yeah, not again. Everyone's seen that. Everyone has that book. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I was honored. I got to hold it. It was amazing.
Oh, that's nice. How about you send it over here, Stephen, and I can hold it too. Okay. So this is Monster #1. It's from Reese Whitman cover.
Hey, Manny.
So, yeah.
I will tell you that the green guy that's there, Alan.
That is beautiful.
The guy with the green
guy.
First of all, the colors on that are absolutely stunningly beautiful. Totally.
The art is great too. I love the art style.
But if you look at the green guy, if you look at that Planet Comics near the end, there's a guy that looks very similar to that. A little different color scheme. Like
he did all the Planet Comics too. So
well, look at the weapon that he's hitting people with. What is that? Like a wheel of some sort?
I think it's like there's a wagon that's
okay. That he's taking.
Oh, so it's a wagon wheel. I see the middle spoke thing there. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the spokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Satan and lost. Is he Satan?
it kind of looks like, almost like it reminds me of something like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of look.
Yeah, I
Like
was gonna say he's
Yes.
got the tattered bow
he,
tie,
he,
or yeah,
he
the
looks like
Yes.
he
tattered
was like
tie there and everything.
in the Hyde version now, right? Like where he was
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like a roof, like
Well, now
it's a beautiful
is
cover.
he disembodied? Because I don't see the bottom half of his body.
I know it's like some weird mist thing, but I think they're going up this hill or something. Like it's actually at an
I think
angle.
his legs are swung to the side behind that guy.
So like if you
Okay.
look at the road, see how the road's like this, like it's
Oh
like you
yes,
almost have to look at it like this way, where he's
got it.
kind of going
I'm
up the.
dig you.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's
That's
That is
very
really
beautiful.
great
interesting
artwork, though.
perspective.
Do you know who the cover artist is on that?
I
Maurice
said
Whitman.
Maurice Whitman. Maurice
Oh,
Whitman.
Maurice Whitman. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
What
so that's
number is that,
Monster
Alan?
One. That's
One.
number one.
Okay, number one.
There's only two in the series, and this is number two.
Wow.
And it's also Maurice Whitman as well.
Very cool.
What a great pair. Wow.
Yeah. This
The
would have
chip.
been really good for that hand challenge, actually, the big hands.
Oh yeah, for sure. Why? But you were on
Yeah.
the wrong team though.
Yeah. And the other ones
Steppo,
that
were you looking at the girl in the red dress when you said what a great pair?
I no,
No, great pair of books. Great pair of books.
great pair of books.
I know.
And here's another cool one. This is Crusaders of Mars.
Zip Davis.
Yeah, Ziff
That's
Davis.
beautiful.
These are
God, they have
so
great
underrated.
covers.
They had amazing covers. These kind of painted covers, and you can see how. And it's like got this really cool like rod thing with like a.
But he's
like
got
a,
So, Alan, when I was
his neutron rod. Look at he's got the atomic symbol hitting the guy right in the shoulder. He's going
yeah, it's really cool.
you gave me cancer.
and the guy is shooting his 45 right into his thigh, and nothing.
Yeah, he's like awesome. Kind of
Cool.
reminds me
So,
of like Adam or something.
so while I was at the shooting video at that place today, he had a whole bunch of magazines that you're probably interested in, Alan. Sunbather
Okay.
or Sunbather magazine. Have you heard of that one?
He's got that covered.
Oh, I got a bunch of those now. I don't know.
Alan,
Yeah, he had a
I
stack
don't
of
really
those.
like
I have to interrupt you. I have to
don't-
interrupt you for just a minute. If you look behind your left shoulder, the Planet comic that's on that shelf, that one, that shoulder, your left shoulder, isn't that your left shoulder?
This is my left.
Thank you. Right behind your left shoulder is the Planet comic I'm talking about that looks sort of like that green guy.
Oh yeah, you're right. This one.
And that's one of my favorite
Similar,
Planet
yeah.
covers.
Yeah, you're right. It's
That
very
is
similar.
awesome.
Wait, let me pull it out again. So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do love that. Maurice Whitman's so good.
Yeah, both of them are Maurice Whitman. So yeah, I love the Planet comic run. I actually liked his stuff on Ghost Comics the best.
Thanks, Manny.
Okay. And then we got Space Busters. This is another.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that cool? Oh, sorry, I'm kind of hiding the girl. Which is
Alan, do we know who the cover painter is? Are these Saunders or who is it?
I'm not sure. I forget who the artist is. Sorry, I should
That's
know
okay.
because
It's
actually
beautiful art, though.
I got a bunch. So he did Space Busters and he did Crusaders of Mars. The same artist, I can tell, but I'm not sure who it is.
They look like painted covers off of the pulps almost.
Yeah, they're very pulpy look. Actually, I personally like the pulp covers better than the comic covers. I think
they're definitely more lurid, and they're almost all of them are paintings.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have line art, line and ink drawings on pulps.
If you guys bear with me for 1 second, I want to show you something.
Absolutely.
Okay. So see
Sure.
this one? Remember this? Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out a poster. 1 sec here. Graphics Man? Do you know Graphics Man? Bigby?
He was the guy that was commenting on some videos you had a while ago. You were saying something about him.
He's the one that makes things. He skewers stuff and he puts characters in.
Yeah. So wait. So I'm gonna just show you something that's kind of fun. Okay, you did this one, Chamber of Chills with Popeye.
And
Like
olive
Oh,
oil.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And one sec here. He gave me like a bunch. It was like, but here's his version of the Crusaders of Mars.
I was thinking that
Oh,
that guy
he
looked like
did look
Robin.
like Robin. He did look like
Yeah,
that. Is amazing.
Isn't that awesome? Like, look at that. And
that's
then
awesome.
here's the original.
That is beautiful.
That's
Isn't that
so
cool?
cool. Yeah,
So I had to,
that's amazing.
I had to get the original, like the original comic. I think
But
he did. It just works so well,
what
doesn't
did
it?
he change? He changed the little square box that says Batman and Robin what must travel
Oh,
to
sorry.
Mars.
Yeah, wait a sec here. Let me see. Batman and Robin must travel to Mars to stop Catwoman from attacking Earth. Isn't that awesome?
That's great.
I like the way it's her costume is tattered too, like both of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, so he kept the tattered look, and he just changed it to the purple Catwoman color, right? Isn't that awesome? And
That
then you
is
can see
so great.
Robin has her ripped, thing in her
Oh
hand.
yeah, he tore it off of her.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that is actually on the original as well.
Is it Crusader or Crusaders? Crusader.
Yeah, Crusader of Mars. And I'm not
That's
sure.
awesome. That is a great ripoff there. That's amazing.
Yeah, he did some really good ones. Like, if you want to see more of them, I can show you. This
Sure.
one
Yeah, absolutely. Those are beautiful.
I love this one. I actually got the original of this. Actually, what happened was I managed to find a nice copy of this Alex Schomburg cover. And then I knew that Graphics Man had done all these kind of altered covers. So I reached out to him and said, "Hey, I would like to buy your cover of this, because you did such a great job of it." Because Tony the Tiger is just like so funny, right? So
Right.
he's like, "Oh yeah," and then there was a couple others that I wanted to buy from him as well, which I kind of showed you. And he's like, "Well, I'll just give them for free." And he just sent me them all for free. I was like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that." I felt so guilty, but yeah, he gave me those all for free. So really great guy, Graphics Man. If you have the money, go and buy some of these from him. That way I can promote him.
His
the
laser scanner.
He has a YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah. Graphics Man. Here's another one.
I love it.
Frankenberry. I'm trying to find out what the original cover for this is. I don't know it's
That's the
some
cover of a cereal box. Oh no, not with the girl.
The girl's from
It's
something.
originally it was a comic book, right? But it's
Yeah, the girl is from something. I'm just trying. I don't know what it is, but
It's got to be Frankenstein. It has to be a Frankenstein cover. That's what it is.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think what it is it's Frankenberry by itself, and then she's been superimposed on Frankenberry, rather than the other way around.
I wonder if it's an old Frankenstein movie poster, maybe.
I don't know. It's such a great
because the Frankenstein itself looks like it might have been
Karloff.
just tinged, like Karloff tinged pink with the Frankenberry accoutrements put on.
Those are certainly suitable for framing. Absolutely. Those
I'd love to have these. I'd love to have these framed.
Yeah. You gotta get that digital picture frame thing going on behind you, like we talked about.
Oh yeah, where I can see all my books. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. One sec. I want to show you the Chamber of Chills one. That's really cool. It's like, where did I put it? I just had it. And now I lost
That's
it.
the olive oil one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he did a really great job of this one. I was quite excited to get this one.
Yeah, that is really, really good.
Actually, when I interviewed him on my channel, right, and I told him to that he should try something with Chamber of Chills, because I thought it'd be a funny one to work with.
Isn't it funny that you can see that it's Popeye holding the glass, because if you lift it up a little bit further, there's an anchor on his cuff, which shows that it's Popeye.
Isn't that cool? And then he's got the kind of cartoony hands for
what
Popeye.
a nice touch.
Yeah.
Although Chamber of Chills, you can see the guy's fingers are bony too, right?
Yeah, normally his fingers are bony through the glass. It's like regular hand on this side, but bony on the glass side, other side of the glass.
Right. Yeah.
because I think it's like poison or something like that, right?
He did a beautiful job.
What does it say? Something Tales of Terror and Spinach?
Here's looking at you, darling, on our happy anniversary. And it says, yes, Tales of Terror and Spinach at the top. That's a really great touch. I didn't even notice that, tell you the truth. That is a really great touch.
And you'll see that he kind of put a little bit of wear on the top of the cover like a real book. I think that's really what a great touch.
Yeah,
it's got that kind of
beautiful.
Like, kind of like rough edge and stuff. Yeah, really well done. Yeah,
amazing.
I'm super excited to get these. So, and my goal is to get every book related to those.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so wait for future
very,
unboxings.
very cool.
Okay, so those are some of the books. I actually have a ton more I could show, but I don't want to torture you guys too much.
I don't feel tortured. Does anybody else feel tortured?
I don't feel tortured.
Okay, I just want to see some other stuff. Okay, here's another cool one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one.
Power Comics. This is the only one in the run that wasn't by L.B. Cole.
What's the name down there in the lower left?
ATM.
Hi, TM.
It's Dell.
Dell.
Yeah. I forgot the guy's name that did it, but it's a really cool cover. It's like, Hitler cover and Tojo.
And the interesting thing about now, how come you've got a bubble with a hand in it? Who's putting
because if I do because I'm on an iPhone, if I do certain motions, it gives me a thumbs up or something like that.
His uniform has I'm sorry, it has the United States, it has Great Britain, it has all of the allies are on his uniform
and China
as they take on as it basically all the allies to take on the Germans and the Japanese.
And that's Hirohito. Yeah. Oh, that's Hirohito. Oh, yes, you're right. It is Hirohito. But did you guys know that this is a very interesting book? It was actually a Gerber 8. And the reason
that was who was it that had was it on Automatic Comics got a copy of that recently, and he was saying it was a really scarce book.
Really hard to find. And this is one that, the Gerber Photo Journal, where they show all the Golden Age covers.
Not pictured.
This is one of the not pictured ones. So they couldn't find a copy to take a photograph of.
High praise.
He should have just asked me. I would have let him. maybe when they do a new edition. So that's, I don't know. I thought that was a cool book. Okay. And this is another one.
We got another buddy joining us here.
Oh, okay. Let the other buddy join.
Hello.
TM.
Oh, hi, TM.
Hello from Japan.
Hey, fellow Canadian. Now we're balanced out. It's like perfect harmony when we got a little bit of Canadian.
We got East Coast, West Coast, two. Yeah.
Very good.
2 Canadians, 2 Americans.
I saw you at church today, TM.
Yeah, I was there for a little bit, just before I had to head out and then come back. But yeah, I just got finished. I was on stream with Legion of Comics for at week's end, and then in another hour I'm going to be on Namen's channel. So I thought I'd jump on here while I have time.
Floating in between.
By the way, TM, I don't think I've ever interviewed you. You should come on my channel sometime.
I will, for sure.
Yeah, I'm
there
looking
you go.
for
Making the connections. There we go.
Let me know when we do our chat. I'm looking forward to it very much.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Okay,
sure.
I'm your man on that.
Did you ever get K-pop to do an interview?
No, I asked her a bunch of times too. So
she's in the chat. She's in the chat. You can reach out right now.
Alan.
I keep on saying K-pop. You gotta reach out to me, and
I think she said before. She said just tell her the time. I think was what she said.
Yeah, but I can, like, I'm the owner of my own company, right? I can schedule.
You're super flexible, so yeah. I think she's just telling you to be assertive. That's what she wants.
I'm not very assertive.
This is getting close now. I know what's going on around here.
So yeah.
You will come on my program now, Katie. Now. Yes, Alan. Strangely,
Yeah,
I don't think she's a shy retirer. Frankly, I
No,
think
no, she's
I
not.
think she'd
she
be.
knows her mind big time.
I think
Yeah,
she's not that shy. No.
She'd hammer you with a blue wrench, Alan.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
So yeah, but
She keeps
yeah,
the ship afloat.
but yeah, I'd love to have her on my channel. She does some pretty cool stuff on her channel. She
She's a
interviews a
great
lot of
artist.
those.
So is Bigby's a great artist too. But I mean, I really
Thank
enjoy
you.
when you guys do that together when you're working. Where are you? And, oh, that's nice. This, that. I like that. I really do. And then get
The
Bleak
art
and all those
jam.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Those are fun.
I love that when you guys do that stuff.
Yeah,
I got to do
it's
that again. I haven't done like working in color on your piece. Really, like I'm one of those people that if I have something in my way that is intimidating, I won't work on anything else. And so
I'm
I
gonna go get
was.
him. I'm
yeah. I
gonna
was
go
gonna
get him.
say,
Oh, okay.
can you go grab it? I'd like to see it actually
So
because you
so
colorized
Stephen
it.
requested it. He's gonna have it displayed at his beach house. So he wanted it in like a muted tones, uh, colors, kind of set up so that it would be more of a well, it would blend in better with the beach. So hey,
So
Marcus.
you
Speaking of the
made it in
beach, is my friend out
beach
there from
color.
Astoria, Oregon.
Yeah. So you made it beach colored.
Yeah, I made it more like a muted tones. It's Cthulhu anyway. He's an ocean critter, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
Make Stephen big, and I'd like to see this one.
yeah, for sure. Well, it's one that you guys have seen before in black and white, and
Yeah.
Stephen's wife saw it, and
No, she liked the black and white, the line drawing right away. She said, "Stephen, can I get that?" I said, "I'll ask." And Brian said, "Okay." And then I pleaded with him. He said, "I'd love to have it in color." And he said, "Okay." And then talking with his friends and what's the bearded fellow that you know so well, the
Tra-
artist
Travis.
Travis, is
Travis.
about what kind of things to use and stuff. Now, before I show the painted the colored one, Brian gave us this one too.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
gave him a bonus piece of artwork because it was they were getting Cthulhu themed. So
Cthulhu, what is it?
Cthulhu. Yeah,
Cthulhu. Okay,
yeah,
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. Okay, got it.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
this one, really cool, causing trouble with his little wings. You see, Susan
I
said,
always
"Oh,
thought that
we
was
can
so funny
fly."
about him. Yeah, he's always got
Yeah,
these
he's got
little
little
wings.
little tiny wings. He's supposed to be, he defies all logic and reason. He's a creature of the.
These tiny little wings for this giant body, and I said, it's sort of like Prince Namor, like Submariner. He's got those little wings on his feet, and he can
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah, so I did that on TM and
Strangely,
Roscoe's. That piece was actually done live on T or for one of TM and Roscoe's shows. Their
Oh really?
oh,
yeah, for Between the Lines. It wasn't on the show, but so there's
Oh
the
wow.
piece in the kind of the muted tones for the
Interesting.
beach house.
yeah, we're gonna frame these and at the beach, so when the Cthulhu comes a rocking and a knocking, why we got his picture, and he'll leave us alone. He'll
Yeah, he'll
kill
be
us.
like, "Oh, you guys are fans."
I will
Okay.
kill you last. I will kill you last.
Yeah, you guys are worshippers. We'll leave you alone. We need all the worshipers.
We got your picture. We got your picture. I kill you last.
It looks like he's smiling.
No,
Well, he's
it's
kind of
trying to get
the
the blood.
vicious. He's got blood running out of his mouth too.
He's trying to get the blood out of his face. And look at the tentacles.
That
Look at
is
all
really
of that.
cool.
Each one, each suction cup and everything. Then there's blood whipping off the tops.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Really cool. Great job on this, man.
Well, thank you so
Susan
much.
loves it. Susan really, really loves it. And I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
have to look. And I'm gonna have to look at this down at the coast now all the time. I
the
love it.
eyes the eyes are actually red if you get
Yeah,
close there you can see his
yeah.
eyeballs are red.
The scleras
So
are definitely red. Nice.
I like the
All
way
the
the suction
different
cups look, though. They look really awesome.
the striations of the color where you moresque all of those up above, where you're using the different colors to feather into all of your You must have spent an inordinate amount of time on this, Brian.
I was trying to make it beachy. Yeah, so there's a little bit of like a watery shimmer in the background that's the different colors. It's not, the camera's not like picking everything up, but the other thing that's kind of cool is if you run your fingers across the front of that thing, you can feel all the layers of color on it.
I don't want to touch. I don't want to
Oh,
touch it at
wow.
all because I want to leave those. I don't want to have anything, affect in any way.
I mean,
And
even
that's
if you
done-
run it over your fingers over the Mylar, you can feel the color underneath the Mylar.
Oh, okay.
And it's all done with pencil color, or how is it? How
Yeah,
do the color?
that's colored pencil. I need to get some of the alcohol markers that everybody is using to do stuff, but that's all colored pencil to do that
That's
one.
awesome.
I'm
Yeah, that's
really,
really
we're
cool.
really, really happy. I love the effort. It really shows. We truly appreciate it.
I'm so happy that you guys are happy with it. I mean,
Thank you.
I kept looking at it. I'd be like, is it done yet? Is it done? I don't know. Is it done yet? I think it's done. Is it done yet? I don't know.
Really good.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, it came out pretty well. And that turned into that Batman book that I picked up today.
Well, I am looking forward to seeing all the things that you find reasonably to come over here and take advantage of me for my Silver Age that you want. And I'm prepared to be taken advantage of. But
No,
another thing,
I'm equitably
Don't-
treated.
and the nice thing about dealing with me, you see, is that you don't have that
No.
nagging Canadian exchange rate where you just get killed, and then the bank always they all kind of squint and they wince when you come in with this big wad of Canadian some kind of money that they have there. It's they said, "Oh, don't bring that in anymore."
Just remember how dangerous it was to go to Steven's house, Bigby. It's not a safe.
It's not going to be
place
dangerous
go.
this next time.
It's not a safe place to go.
How dangerous it was. God, you're really good. Not only can you set fear and try to set up a horrible thing, but even in the middle of negotiations, your spidey sense is tingling and you call in. That was the craziest thing. I couldn't.
That was the craziest thing. He's
Susan
like,
is
that's
upstairs.
Alan on
and
the phone
I
right
go,
now.
Alan Pollitt.
Because he's
And
trading
I
away
can
my
hear
books.
Susan
My-
laughing upstairs.
You guys, it's my books that are being traded here. Here's my shopping cart, and like these are my books. And it's like, what are you doing?
So, TM, I don't know if you tuned in early enough, but Steppo and
did
I
you see any of
spent the
my-
day together
TM,
yesterday.
did you see any of the books I got from Brian?
No.
Would
No,
you
you
like
gave
Can you do a
some
quick,
I
unbiased-
can
quick
riffle them
flip
real
through,
quick for
Steppo?
you.
Yeah, I got time.
Okay,
All right.
I'll riffle them quick.
All right.
Quickly.
Minus the history show.
No,
history
just pictures. Schomburg,
1940 something. 45.
45, yeah.
Ooh,
1946.
yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, and a lot of these when we were popping them out of the bags and inspecting them for condition, we were just like, oh my god, the color strikes and the way the gloss.
That one right there, the sensation. That one's full. Like, what year is that? Like, that's
1945. Number 45 from 45.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
it's really
color
beautiful.
on that is fantastic.
Oh, we have another guest showing up.
It's
Oh. She's gonna come and lay the smackdown on you,
Oh no.
Alan.
Oh,
Oh, no.
right.
It's
Thank you.
Hey, K-pop.
I'm saved.
Hey, Katie.
Uh-oh.
Great
All
show.
right, so let's
My computer's
Let's-
not
let's let him finish showing his books here. So
They're coming in from underneath
Uh-oh.
TM.
they're
And these
tunneling
guys-
underneath the guys.
They're not gonna. The Americans on top aren't gonna win this one. They're out. A lot of war books. He's shooting him right in the mouth.
Oh, nice. Yikes.
This has the color strike is like an inch thick on this book. It's bizarre.
It is. Oh, it is crazy. That one we were like
1950.
everything. The blue was popping off of the pink. The pinkish red. It was just like, whoa. It was just
Fighting man.
Those are cool.
This one the machine gunner is sawing him in half with the machine gun.
Whoa,
It's just getting it.
brutal.
Right in the stomach.
Pre-code, baby, pre-code.
More war. This one is a really the color strike on this again is like an inch thick. Famous Funnies.
Yeah.
Can you believe that Famous Funnies would have these negative stereotype cover? I
think there's only like a couple, only 2 or 3 that are like
with
that.
this pink. I mean, it's just
That
and
pink
the
is
way
just
they
so
drew them-
popping. Yeah.
Does it say who drew this? This is Mike Roy. I don't know who Mike Roy is.
The name sounds familiar.
Oh, okay. This one I love. This is the roster cover from Our Army at War for Sergeant Rock, showing all of his buddies from Easy Company, and that is Cubert Sergeant Rock. That is the classic, perfect Sergeant Rock.
I do like that one.
That's neat.
And the last one is Kent Blake of the Secret Service. But they're in Korea too, killing the Reds.
What does he say? You commies.
Okay, commies, this is
The
it.
end
End
of
of the
the
line. So those are the ones that I traded all these. We opened them all up. We established the grade. And Brian very carefully did not have any idea of what to charge for them. So I had to look up to see how much it was going to cost me.
We had fun. And then I picked up, this is the book that I picked up in trade from Steppo.
Ooh.
The first appearance of the Wasp.
In
a-
super high grade.
Super high grade. Yeah, it's like a 7.75, we figured. So
It's pushing 8. I really do think.
yeah.
The only thing is
so
it has that one tick. It depends on how they would go after that tick on the side.
yeah, one tick. We weren't sure if it was a tick or if it's a small tear on the spine.
Yeah, so however that was, so 7.5 then, at least 7.5.
I don't know,
Edges-
man. I think Steppo ripped you off.
You think you got me? Huh?
I wish
think-
you could stay
No,
longer.
according to the
Ian.
guide, we went through it. We both agreed on condition and price and everything. It was very fair, and it was a blast. It was really
Are
fun.
you-
It was
are
like
you gonna
going
get
back
that
and
grade?
hanging out with your friends when you're little kids and trading comics. So,
Brian, are you
so
going to
Katie,
get
how
that
have you
graded
been? What
now?
are you up to?
Sorry, what was that?
I said, how have you been, and what are you up to?
I've been a little burnt out, so I was kind of taking a break from streaming, but I'm back, not fully, but back at the moment. Other than that,
Well,
just
we're
been
glad to
working.
have you on. This is the first time I think you've been on one of my streams. So
I
welcome.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had Bleak. We had Bleak a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
He
So
and Steppo
sorry.
and I hung out. So
That's very cool.
Katie,
so-
you're behind the scenes and you make the thing go. I mean, you really do. You're the other guy. We're all talking about, and you're basically keeping the ship afloat with the chat and everything else. And you're really. They were saying, well, shy and retiring Katie. I said, what Katie are you talking about?
So, Katie,
no, I'm not.
did you finish your Roscoe?
No, I'm still
doll?
working on it.
Yeah.
So the first weekend that I was working on it during C3, I kind of destroyed my hands, so I had to take a month long break
Right.
because my hands were so bad. And then since then, I just kind of had a lot of stuff happening in my life, so which led to the burnt outness. But I'm back working on it now, so I'm trying to finish it for Phil by the end of the month. So, and then we're gonna meet up because he lives about an hour from here, and we've already met up for like Comic Cons and stuff. So
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, he's gonna come down here. Then we're gonna go get some food and just chill, and I give him the
Hang at a
That
Kroger.
sounds-
yeah. I definitely go to Kroger.
That's it's so cool to when you start learning like Steppo is near me. Dan's X-Men Comics. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's from Portland. Also, a lot of guys in Portland. And then I just found out recently that Bronze Age Nerd, he's real close by, so he and I have gotten to hang out together and have a good time a few times. So yeah, it's just pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I just
there's
realized what your name tag said.
Yeah, I changed it because
K-pop.
it said turd before, so I changed it. So
Sith Lord.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
so
What's
I
awesome.
keep
what are
forgetting because I move back and forth from my laptop, so I keep forgetting which one says what.
what are you drawing for this person?
I'm not drawing anything. I am making a giant My Pet Roscoe plushie. So I'm hand
wow.
sewing a
Oh,
massive
you're
plushie. Yeah.
making a plushie.
Yes, like it's
Yes.
giant. It's like
And it's gonna
like
look
that
like
big.
Roscoe.
It's
It's
based off of one of his drawings, but yeah, it kind of does have Roscoe vibes to it. Yeah.
the My Pet Monster. Do you remember those from back in the day? So it's kind of based off of
Yeah.
My Pet Monster.
Yeah.
But it's My Pet
Cool.
Roscoe.
Yeah.
It's so cool. We were saying the other day, we're like, man, Katie is so creative. I think it was you and I, Alan. We were talking. I said she's the one to make your animatronics that you wanted.
Yeah, I was hoping.
I
was hoping.
could get
I was
into
waiting for
that.
That would
That would
be
be awesome.
so
Yeah.
cool. Have like an Alan Muppet in behind you,
No,
hurling
I wanted
insults
a
at you.
My
Vampirella
Pet Alan.
animatronic.
No, let's
Vampirella
have an
animatronic.
Alan Muppet.
Interesting.
I think that'd be awesome. And then as you're showing you books, it could go reprint, reprint,
Reprint. Yes.
not first
nice.
print, not first appearance. No.
I like that. Yeah, well, that is the thing because we did put the voice boxes in there from Build-A-Bear, so you could put
Oh,
up to
that's
like
cool.
10 seconds of voices inside the boxes. So we got
Oh.
2 of those in there.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we kind of hooking him up. Then I've got squeakers that I put in his butt cheeks. So
That's awesome.
it's getting there. And then Phil doesn't know this, but I because I'm making the shirts for him. The one's gonna have the My Pet Roscoe logo on it, and the other one I'm gonna make him the ladies of Kroger soccer team shirt to go with it, so he can change out the shirts if he wants.
That's
The
awesome.
ladies of Kroger. You mean like Kroger shopping?
Yeah, that's a Phil thing, but yeah, he says he's like the manager of the ladies Kroger soccer team because he's into the ladies soccer. But yeah.
So the speaker you said is in his butt cheek, so Roscoe's literally talking out his ass.
The squeakers are in there. So if you know, like a dog toys, when you squeak the dog
Yeah,
toys, it goes
squeaks.
squeak, squeak. Yeah, so those are in the butt cheeks, and then in the feet, I have 2 of the voice recorders with Roscoe's voices on it.
Oh, okay.
Good Lord, you really are
You
creative.
really did a lot.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I went all out with this thing. Yeah,
Good for
it was
you.
fun. It took a while because
How far along is it?
I just gotta attach the head and then make the hat and the shirt. So not
Oh, wow.
too much longer. So yeah, it'll be done this week.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
It was very hard to get the voice because she had to wait until Roscoe was sleeping, and he talks in his sleep, so it really worked out for her.
Yeah. Well, we had issues trying to order it online from Build-A-Bear, and they would not just send the voice box, even though the stores would like, yeah, just order the voice box, no problem. And then they wouldn't ship it to us. So I actually had to find one and go there and pick them up because they wouldn't let you just buy it. Otherwise, you would have to buy an animal, cut it up to take the voice boxes out.
Oh, that'd be
Oh
terrible.
my goodness.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Cadaver
The way that you said it sounds really terrible. You have to cut up an animal. Well, let's be honest, you have to cut up a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta put the
Gut
word
to get that
stuffed in
voice
there.
box.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, we looked out, we figured it out. Yeah.
You know, that's actually it's kind of appealing, isn't it? We had to do a little bit of surgery to do this. What did you do?
I mean, I don't mind. I would have kept the bear, chopped up bear.
That's
I don't
awesome.
mind.
That is so nice.
There was stuffing everywhere, but I finally got it.
This is facts. I got stuffing, Muppet fur parts over there. Yeah. What really gave me a problem was the actual Muppet fur. Like, you know how you get like the long Muppet fur? Because once you cut it, like the whole thing would just shred.
Oh,
So I had to back it to a piece of felt first and then cut it out. So that like kind of delayed me a few days to figure out how the technique of actually having to cut it out so that it would not, like the fluff would not fall out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good heavens.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if that doesn't, I mean, he should buy you some flowers or something for that.
Something.
There's gotta have to be something. I mean, like, you know,
Yeah.
for heaven's sake, that's amazing.
It's a labor of love on that
seeing that.
But yeah, it's literally several, like maybe 2 foot tall completely
Wow.
because it's got the legs and it's got like the standing part. Yeah. Because it stands up with the amount of stuff that's in it. It'll sit like standing up. So,
And when will
cool.
this be available for the mass market?
Okay, so this one, this one is completely hand sewn because that's something special. It's a one of one. But the ones I will be making in the future will be machine sewn. But I already have some things I want to tweak to make it easier and better when I do it on the machine, so it's not so like tiny, like the arms and like certain things. So it'll be a lot easier. But maybe in a few months from now, and I might just do once a month type thing until I got a lot of my stuff at work and stuff settles down. So
I would love to put my name in the hat to have you make one. I don't
okay.
know what I would make, if it would be a Muppet Femme, you know, one of the Muppet ladies or something. But I would love to be able to, and I wouldn't want you to do it for free. I would want to pay
Yeah.
you to do it. I mean, because your time is worth something, for heaven's
Well,
sake.
they're gonna once she gets the pattern down, they're gonna make the
Yeah.
Roscoe's for multiple people, so you could get in line to
Yeah.
get a Roscoe.
Well, I would love
Yeah.
to. I'd love to have a Roscoe.
Yeah.
That sounded
No,
strange.
he
I
looks
don't mean
so
it like
cute.
that sounded. I've got plenty
I'd
of
love to
Roscoes.
have a
I
Roscoe.
got plenty of Roscoes around.
No,
Wow.
he's so cute. He's gonna look really adorable. My favorite part's the glasses that I figured out how to make. But
Well, I
yeah,
would love
really
to.
cool.
Please, when you actually hit your stride on those, making those, I really would like one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds really cool.
yeah, he's got like a purple what do you call that material? Fleece body, and then the shirt and the hat are black, and then his beard is like a lime green. So he's got lime green fluff on his feet, his arms, where like knuckles and stuff. So yeah,
And
It sounds
so what-
So
great.
cool.
yeah.
what does it say, by the way?
I figured out how to make him butt cheeks. So he's got like the Cabbage Patches back in the day, how they had like the ruching in the butt cheeks. So
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
you go.
Alan was
Just so-
asking, what does he say? What does he say?
What does he say? What does he say?
The one he laughs, Roscoe laugh, and the other one he makes a fart noise.
Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's international language.
International language, yes. Everyone can
That's right.
understand.
Everyone, it's
Everyone
good
can
for
see.
Europe. It's good for Canada. It's good for the United States, South
No
America.
translator
No.
needed. Yeah.
Wow.
No
translation
translator.
needed. Yeah. Wow.
That is so cool.
If you want, I could go grab. He's in the other room, but I could go grab
Yeah,
him.
go
and show
grab
you
him.
guys.
Yeah, please.
I'd like to see him. I'd
Okay.
like to see him.
Okay.
Cool. TM, did you see what I got with the spoils from doing the artwork for Steven?
No.
Let me show you what I got. So today I went to my Golden Age honey hole, and he actually let me shoot video of all of his boxes of stuff. So I went through 8 short boxes and filmed every book so I can show everybody, because everybody's like, oh, what does he have? And I'm like, I just don't have bottomless pockets to buy. He's got amazing books over amazing books over amazing books. But as I was going through, one book stood out condition-wise, was this Batman 108. It's got to be in like a 9294, completely flat, perfect corners. We got it in a collection. The guy said he had been reading books and his parents would buy them for him all the way through high school. And this was right about when he graduated. He just stopped reading the books and just started putting them in piles. So he had $250 on this, and I picked it up for $200. And I looked it up, and I'm like, in that grade, it's worth far more than what I paid.
Yeah.
So,
That's a great book.
yeah, it's a beautiful book, 1956, I believe. So yeah. So what do you got
Yeah.
coming up, TM? You got some stuff going on?
I'm going to be on Nomin's channel here in about 30 minutes. Between the Lines tomorrow on my channel with Circumstances. Then tomorrow tonight, new show happening. I'll have the topics that we'll be talking about. I'll have those posted probably Tuesday night on Instagram and my community page on YouTube. So if you guys want to jump on and talk about the topics that we're talking about that night, feel free to do so. It's open panel.
Oh,
Cool. Cool.
Good.
If I have time.
All right. Well, I need to make
might
Katie
jump on.
big so she can show her work.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how much was going to fit inside this, so I grabbed the smaller version, but this is
Oh,
the
wow.
prototype of him. He's got legs here, he just doesn't have that on there, but this is what he fully looked like when he's done. I figured out how to do this with 2 different versions of felt and some like foam board, but
So
using the
good.
glasses. So
Oh,
it'll
those are
have the
really cool.
attachments on the side, but I can't do that to like fully mold the head together because
They remind me of like Rugrat glasses.
yeah, so like the fleece, it's literally like life size. The fleece stretches, so I have to constantly keep tweaking my mathematical equations and stuff. But yeah, so
Or did
here's
you? So isn't there a story behind the mathematical equations? Wasn't there something about a measuring tool that had been handed down through the generations from your
yes.
family?
So I have a Western German ruler that I was using to tape measure, and it was off half an inch, so I had to redo all my measurements.
The first half inch had been
Oh.
cut off, right, or something like
Yeah,
that.
I had to redo majority of it. So this is like the body from the waist down, but he's gonna have more
That's awesome.
That is so
Wow.
cool.
Wow, I like the little
Here.
furry feet. Those
Yeah,
are awesome. And he's got the sounds in it. Yeah, nice.
yeah.
I love it.
Wow, that's
Yes.
awesome.
These are the little hands. If you see the little hands, I made little handy hands, and he's got
Nice. That's
little
That
awesome.
feet.
is so inspiring.
And then I figured out how to weigh on the side to make like a Velcro patch here, so you could take the voice box out, so you can re-record it or change the batteries. So the floof is in the feet. See that? And then this is my favorite part. Phil and Roscoe don't know I added this, but here's his little butt cheeks, and I gave him some crack. He's got a little furry crack butt. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
there you have it. That's yeah.
That's so
yeah.
cool.
Very cool.
Well done.
Yeah,
That
thank
is
you,
cool.
thank you. Yeah, no, I love messing with the fluffy fur feet. That's my favorite part. But yeah,
You're
that
so
was a pain in the
creative.
butt trying to. Oh, thank you. That was a pain in the butt trying to figure out how to.
I think it's
Cut
better than
that.
the original.
I do
Oh,
too.
thank you. It is quite larger than the original, so with the head, it'll probably be standing up like.
No, I meant Roscoe himself.
Oh, the Roscoe. Wow.
That's
Okay.
Roscoe, you've been replaced.
Wow. Nice
Nice.
came out, man.
I was joking. I was joking.
Somebody clip that.
Nice. So yeah, no, he's looking very adorable. So yeah, that'll be finished up this week.
So have you been doing any drawing or painting?
I have some over there that I'm kind of piling up my line art because I'm either gonna do like mass watercolor streams, or I done a few where I was working with alcohol markers for the first time. So I'm kind of learning how to do that, and I'm having a lot of fun with those. But other than that, I've been doing a lot of hot dog reels in MS Paint Doodles. That's about it with my art right now. I just have way too much going on in my life at the moment. So yeah,
I get you. I get you.
it's
So
tax
is
season
there a
at work,
difference between
so yeah.
the alcohol and the Copic? Is there a difference between those two?
No, Copics are alcohol based. So the
Okay,
brand
okay.
that I have down there is Spectrum Noir, but I have heard nothing but good things from the Ohuhu brand. They're way cheaper than Copics, and you can get them on Amazon in big giant bundles. But yeah,
Okuku, you said?
OHUHU.
Ohuhu. Okay.
Yeah, I call them
Cool.
Huhus. But yeah, but the brand down there I got down from a friend that had them for a while, and he just didn't want them anymore. And they lasted a couple of years, so they're still working pretty nicely. And you can replace like the tips, and I don't think these ones are refillable, but some of them are refillable, but the cheaper brand ones are not usually. But they have like the fine tip and the chisel tip, which I like. But yeah, I'm having fun
Very
with that.
cool. So and you could change the tips, you said?
Yes, usually alcohol markers you can change the tips because they usually get frayed and dried out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Pretty sophisticated stuff. You saw Brian's picture of Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Yes.
Cthulhu.
Did you see it?
I did see it. Yeah, he did a great
Okay.
job on that.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. He's been doing a lot of great stuff on like the art wise. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've got. Well, I haven't done a bunch recently, so I've been like, whenever like they throw a new, like a lot of times they'll throw a new template at you on IG, like, hey, try this template out, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just throw a bunch of rehashed drawings into the template and do the flash thing, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to get some new stuff up there.
Yeah. I've been having fun doing really cheesy MS Paint doodles, and I'm working on kind of animated things at the moment. So I've been turning all my friends into hot dogs right now.
That's cool. That's cool. Are you putting those on IG or are you putting
Yeah,
those on IG?
they are. Majority of them are on IG. Yeah, so if you want to watch stupid reels, these are.
What's your
hot dog
what's your address on IG?
I have the same name everywhere. I'm Kpop_junkie, so it's JUNKI. Yeah, I have that. That's me everywhere.
JUNKI.
Yes.
K-pop lower hash and then junkie. Okay, and it's
Yeah.
is K is cap?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I don't think it is, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's K-pop underscore junkie.
got it.
Yeah.
I'll join.
And it's a picture of her going like this.
It is. That's my go-to pose.
Very cool.
TM, I want you to know I don't have an introduction music. Bleeker just threw that at me. The one that he did the first time, he made me He-Man, and all of a sudden, says, here come Collecto's here, Steppo's here, and then he played He-Man, and I thought I thought I was Orko, and then the next time, then he did something else, and I had
I was just giving him a hard time.
I don't know what he was doing. I said, "Oh well, thank you." I mean, I don't have one, so you were not besmirched. I assure you. He just threw that at me.
I was giving a hard time because I'm just like I'm always on here. I don't have an intro yet. Damn it!
I don't get an intro either, so don't worry. I'm on there all the time too.
DJ wanted to tell you that was an awesome plushie, Katie.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, TJ. Oh, he's actually the winner of my She-Hulk art that I gave away on Bleakstream. So
I like that picture. That was a beautiful drawing.
I'll be belling that out tomorrow. Yeah. So congrats to him on that. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, thank you. That was just a doodle that I did with Sharpies and gel pens. I like the way it came out. It was like a classic looking style.
It's always fun to have like a random piece of artwork to be able to throw up to be like, hey, it was on TM's 1000 something. I'm like, hey, I'll give away a piece of artwork. Yeah,
I have a stack of artwork just like that, just sitting over there. So I was just like, let me find something. Yeah. But yeah, I really like that one.
I am sincere when I say when you do get the plushie squared away, I really I definitely put me down. I'm for it.
Nice. Yeah, I'll for sure do that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody else have anything else they want to show off or?
No.
I've already showed everything I got.
Alan, you good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
You good? Katie, you don't have any other drawings or anything you want to show?
No, it's all over there. My back kind of hurts.
Chill.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think then we will say farewell to everybody and thanks for joining and thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys all for joining me on the show and having a great time. It was awesome. And as usual, share your love of comics with everyone you meet. You never know where it may lead you. You might make some new friends like all these guys here. So thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.